Only thing I have to say here before I start to get the filter for Coralline is that I got the achievement for returning Pimbus's hat when I closed the game last time, which is a little odd. I only seem to get the achievements then, but they do seem to be working right otherwise, at least so far. Alright. Small thing, this isn't the default cursor. There are a few different options. A couple are pretty funny, but for some reason this is my favorite. I guess it's a crosshair, actually. Speaking of achievements, I completely forgot that there's now an achievement for beating the game using only the pea shooter. Which is actually probably going to be way harder in Astro and compared to Star of Providence. Mostly because weapons give you stat bonuses. I think it'll be pretty cool though. We'll actually have to be really good at the bosses. We'll grab a weapon for the time being. I'm pretty sure there will be a guaranteed shop node. I just realized there are triangles around the puncher because it gives damage, and I think there are bubbles around burst because it gives HP. That's cool. Still noticing new little things even now. Yeah, I'll use one bomb. Ah, beam. Well, it gives POW, which is kind of bad because I can get up to 30% POW even without this. So maybe I'll actually take pulse for now, but beam is... I really love beam. Sometimes having to charge up the damage and then release feels a little strange. Maybe it takes a bit longer than you would expect to charge up. That's mostly a thing during boss fights, but like during relays, it's so easy to just disable the relay nodes with a beam. In Septic, you can mop up all of the, those fish that spin in a circle. I think they're actually called cycle fish. I only remember that because I saw Neo refer to them by name in the Discord. I think in the previous part I didn't finish a thought that I was initially intrigued by this game. I played it. I ended up joining the developer's own Discord. And I was only there for a little bit, but I beat Black Coffee, which was the hard mode. I was pretty happy with myself. I'm pretty sure I had all the achievements before I decided to do Black Coffee. So it was nice as an extra, if you wanted to get more out of the game. I don't know what to compare it to exactly. It's not really like Star of Providence's hard mode because that's some extra high effort stuff, I would say. A trade or a shop? Well, obviously the shop, but I do want to pick another trade node because it's different now that I've done the hat quest. Alright though. That flag is the new thing, but there's some new dialogue as well. I do like the warning, or I guess the heads up that there's new dialogue. Glitches. What's up with those weird green glitches? I don't know. Ray tells me to not worry about it. So I don't. Yay! That does amuse me, it's so straightforward. Oh, whoops. At least I can show the dialogue skip, you just hold space. It's pretty quick. I did play through the game multiple times during testing, and when the skips were introduced, I very much appreciated that. I'm overthinking the items. Bombs. When in doubt, just grab bombs. They're very versatile. So this. Race in the Flatworm Fast Track. I seem to remember there being dialogue from Pimbus even before you get this option, but maybe I'm just misremembering. Last time I did just skip everything, so... Yep, guess I'll show the tutorial. I really like this logo and this title screen. For some reason it reminds me of Ape Escape, which had similar logos and main menus for its mini-games. Hit boost to gain speed. Avoid icicles. Destroy them when boosting. One thing that isn't entirely clear, even when you're moving at high speed, the icicles will still slow you down. They just don't stop you dead in your tracks. That's what it means that you can boost through them. Okay. Hopefully I can do this on my first try. It's kind of tricky, actually. I will not be able to read Pimbus's dialogue as I do this. At high speeds I find it pretty hard to read the track and react accordingly. The other problem with running into the icicles is that the other racers won't have to avoid them and can't run into them themselves. Ooh, is the music here a little different? So I came in first, but that was just lap 1. There are many different racers that can show up here. It's pretty neat. I think they're from each area. And actually, I think they're reusing the cosmetics from before Loopbreaker. You could have a little familiar following you. Oh yeah, I should be able to use the cosmetics now. Oh, now that Loopbreaker's out. I kind of had them when I first started testing because they were part of my save file. And there was some funkiness, like the familiar was in between the racetrack and the stands here. I think I came in third, that's not great. I think this can still work though. That was pretty bad. I think there's a significant element of luck to this, but you can try as many times as you like, so it's no big deal. That was terrible. Second. Okay. Ah, I don't think that's good enough. I'm pretty sure you have to be first here. And there's sort of an invisible point system based on your position in each lap. Here we go again. Ah yeah, I get to show off more of these at least. Is that a tiny version of the player character? I don't know if I've seen that before. And that's recoverable at this stage. I guess if I had one tip to give here, it would be try not to move unless you have to. Because if you move too much, you're just going to run into more icicles. I do quite like minigames. A couple of games I've played have had them, and recently, and I find it quite refreshing when compared to games that have like zero extras and just core gameplay, and that's it. Which, you know, if the gameplay is great, that's good, but... Oh, I think I came in first. That was good. For some reason, this makes me think of, like... PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 era games I played back in the day. Like Spyro the Dragon had a lot of mini-games in Spyro 2 and Spyro 3. Sly Cooper also comes to mind. Ratchet and Clank had some stuff like that as well. Sometimes novelty and a break from the usual gameplay is nice, is what I'm trying to say. That's not great. Struggling more than I thought I would. Maybe I just need to shut up and focus. Maybe that's the problem. That's really bad. Might have to come in first twice for this to work. Damn. At this point, I think there's no way. I never checked, actually. Is there a way to... I assume that's for the run itself, so I'm not gonna choose restart there. I guess that's a slight improvement, if you already know that you're not doing well enough to complete the quest. A quick restart for this minigame. At least you can start the next lap pretty quickly. Maybe we'll be here all day. Worst case scenario, this is take one and it goes in the bin. Okay. Another very specific... Okay, maybe I shouldn't be talking. I should have went through that without losing all of my speed. Ah. Still last. Yeah, of all the quests, this is the one that I feel I haven't gotten better at all. The faster you are, the more you move towards... the more the screen scrolls ahead is what I'm trying to say. And that does help a little bit, but with how fast it is, I don't think it's enough. I can work with that. Okay, that was decent. That's so tough. Wow, I came in third there? I'm not even in the top 3, wow. Dead last. I'm only getting worse at this. You know, it's kind of funny, to me at least, that assuming everything else goes well, this is gonna be maybe my biggest struggle in the game. I guess I'll say this minigame specifically reminded me of the Chihuahua races in God Hand for some reason. Maybe I just had God Hand on the mind the first time. And because of that, I told Neo, hey, what if you could bet on the races once per run? I was mostly joking, though. At this point, I don't think there are even unique competitor sprites to show off. I'm just failing and there's no excuse. The other thing, sometimes the other racers just don't fall behind. I do at least like the soft rubber banding mechanic of the icicles, in theory. Wasn't expecting to lose the lead right at the end like that. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, Chops wins. That was kind of a photo finish. I should have got up there. Yeah, they really didn't slow down. In spite of the struggle, I am having fun, but damn. very good there. Still salvage this. All right. That was a clean sweep, wasn't it? Excellent. Apologies for all the failure. I think that was enough flatworm fast track for an entire playthrough. Congrats on winning the race, Steel Shell. Here's your reward. Tell Coralline I said hi. And yeah, another one of these. What was this one? Oh, I don't remember those. The little drones. The ruby coral needs more nitrates. The tube coral more sulfur. We're expecting the repairs in 2 cycles. Those folks in Polar still need to be reached out to. Oh? Hello? Oh, Ray. What is it? The eels need a new shipment? So soon? They need hydroplastics for... What did you say? Modulating their signal? Okay. They want it for my filtration system? Ray, you know the coral will die if it's dismantled. Can't they manufacture it themselves? No, Ray, I can't. Oh, okay, I see. Thank you, Ray. Hey, Coralline. Oh, hey, Roach. What's up, dude? You feeling okay? Yeah, Ray called a little earlier. Not Ray again. Always calling at the worst times. I know, right? She wants some parts from my filtration system for the Divine Relay project. That will kill my coral. Yeah, jeez. Ray's always like, blah, blah, blah. We gotta do this for the greater good. I mean, I get it, Roach. She does have a point. The Divine Relay will change everything. But like, Coralline, isn't this coral project part of the greater good too? Am I getting it twisted? Just because your thingy won't solve the whole world's problems doesn't mean it isn't like cool and stuff. Yeah, I don't know why she wants to get this done so soon. It's kinda rushed. Yeah, tell her to buzz off. Or you know what? I'll go talk to her myself later. Give her a talking to. Thanks, Roach. Yeah, I got you, man. By the way, check out this voltic algae I found in relays. Whoa, I've never seen this species before. How do you even find this stuff in the wild? I know, I even surprised myself some cycles. But also, like, it's really sour. Try it. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. I don't remember if those bits about specific coral and what they need were there before. I wasn't, well, I shouldn't talk about that. I'd be getting ahead of myself if I speculated why that was changed. And I should continue. I was thinking about choosing back to hub there, but we're not quite finished with the quest. That actually took long enough that now going back to regular gameplay is a little jarring. Maybe I just got really lucky during testing, because I don't remember it taking me that long. Barrier bomb's pretty pointless here, I would say. I guess I'll take a plasma bomb for a little bit of damage, and then I'll reroll this. Mend. Sure. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it forces a raise here. You can't get septic, because if you did, then outside of unlocking a weapon or upgrade, the run would be a waste of time. Oh yeah, I guess I should comment. It's nice how it played out here. That's the first we saw of Roach in this playthrough, in that memory. I'll go with the upgrade. Since I have to go to a shop, I guess I could try for sushi again. I guess it's worth noting, I play with the hitbox off, because at this point I've got a really good feel for it. It feels unnecessary, and I don't think Astronautilus ever requires such precise weaving for me to feel like it's even necessary in the first place. That's just my preference. I kinda like these bullets. They trigger a burst if you get within their range. The boss I fought here also had those, but I was completely avoiding them. It fires a lot of them, but I think only one can detonate within a short time frame. What could that be? A weapon, an upgrade? Sure. I think it could also be a cache, even if there's a cache node with it at the same teleporter. Well, I do have a lot of bombs. Ah, that's pretty good. It escapes me. Have I picked up flare in this playthrough yet? It's pretty good. Before the beta testing started, I didn't really care for flare. I barely used it. But I don't know why. Unless it was changed. Unless it did feel bad before, but I can't remember if that was the case. Even its rapid fire is decent against small enemies and in relays. The burst damage is pretty good when you charge it up. Like that, yeah. Oh, thank you so much, little wanderer. I'll be able to save all of my coral with this filter. You can come to my garden if you like. Just check the coral in the corner. Before I do that, though, this crab claw here, which I don't think there's actually anything on the items from sushi, but yeah, sushi caused this to show up. What did the crab claw do? I think it was... maybe it was HP and something offensive. I might have picked it up once, maybe twice during testing. Actually, I should go into the garden first. Grow coral in the garden? Yes. Let's chat. Quite a few options here. Gardening. How do you garden? Look at the book. You can drag and drop the coral seeds to plant them. Give them an appropriate balance of nutrients as outlined, and when you come back they'll grow. Or wilt if you get it wrong. But once they're fully grown, I can release them back into arrays. Exciting. Roach. What do I think about Roach? Well... she leaves a mess when she's out scrapping. She doesn't message me before she shows up to say hi. But like, she's really cool. She started her own place and has kept it running for seasons now. And she's super stubborn too. If Ray tells her something she doesn't want to do, she tells her off. Which is only impressive if you know how everyone else reacts to Ray. I don't know how she does it. I wish I had guts like that. Tell me more. Also, I really like her graffiti. She knows how to make her own paint from the local algae and snails and septic. Although I know she uses it to mark territory and gets into fights with eels over it. That part's kinda scary. But I think she just likes painting too. Book. How did I make the book? Oh, I wrote it myself. I've always loved glyphs and symbology. My family says that when I was a little bud, I'd knock over the inkwell and play in the spill. As I got older, I was taught how to write an Eastern Reef script. I'm more busy now, but I still make time for it. I made those banners I hung up in the back. Most creatures on Carsina use different kinds of storytelling to pass down their history. A lot of it was oral or signed. Our clan was unique for processing coral into sheets for writing. Other creatures thought we were crazy, but the sheets were portable, and a lot of them survived the colonization. Yeah, not a lot of coral-keeping clans are into script anymore, though. After cephalopod colonization, almost everyone switched to screens and video. I know tapes are more popular with the younger buds of my clutch. Also, I have to use tech anyway to keep in contact with everyone else. Just let me inscribe in peace. The watering can. Why do I have a watering can for my garden if it's underwater? I have no idea. Well, looks like we don't have to worry about that anymore. So, I guess I should have shown it off. You can actually pick up the watering can. It's purely cosmetic, but you can water underwater. It's a real SpongeBob gag with the campfire, right? But there's a funny thing about this watering can. The way it disappeared in a poof, like when you shoot an enemy. It wasn't like that before. It disappeared with glitchy effects, and I apparently severely misinterpreted that. I was thinking, oh, that's strange. The moment Coralline questioned why the watering can was there, the glitches erased it. Are there implications there about how the glitch storms work? Or, well, the glitches, anyway. By the way, in the background, at the end of, I think, one level of Septic and one level in Arrays here, you could see glitches creating objects in the background, which is really cool. I like those touches. But yeah, right after I went off on my ridiculous hypothesis of what that's supposed to mean, Neo was like, I'm gonna change that. So I guess that's a little bit of influence I had there. Oh, that was all dialogue, right? I kind of distracted myself. Yup. So, notes on coral. Brain coral. Needs CO2 and phosphates, no nitrates, acidic. I think that says acidic, anyway. I don't know much about coral. I occasionally watch, well, Zay Frank, because he's amazing. So I learn a thing or two about the ocean and certain animals, but, coral, I do not know much about. I'll just try the first 4 in the book. This is the menu, so you can adjust the parameters. Phosphates, these are nitrates, I'm pretty sure. No nitrates. I don't think it said anything about pH, so I'll leave it average. I could be misinterpreting some of this. You gotta press escape to cancel out of the menu there to adjust the parameters. Bubble coral. This one, I think, is very easy to understand. I think this is the one I successfully took care of multiple times in testing. Keep pH basic, otherwise grows in average conditions. So, low pH. Because average would be in the middle for the rest of them. I think it's supposed to be something like this. But it's not no pH, so I think that's right. Ruby coral, I've never taken care of this successfully. Make sure CO2 is low to avoid carbonate formation. Keep pH on the basic side. Check for chum. This is the one that chum live in. Low. Something like that. What's the difference between low and basic, actually? Maybe I'll try this. I don't even have a past frame of reference, but maybe that'll work. Table coral, acidic. No phosphates, I think it says. Needs carbonates. Use nitrates as needed, I think. I can't entirely make this out because of the pixelation, but I think it's legible enough. I also very easily took care of tube coral, so I guess I'll try that for now. Then I could plant multiples of the same thing and try to experiment with different parameters on each instance of the same coral. I'm pretty sure tube is easy, moderate pH. Nitrates and phosphates. Yeah, that's exactly right. I know that these are correct. This is another one I successfully took care of. So later I'll check in more often. And you can't use this fifth plot, by the way. It's reserved, let's say. And each time you visit the shop, you can check the garden, see how they're doing, readjust the parameters. I don't know if you go back in. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. No time passes in terms of growth if you do that. I didn't think to try and mess with it that way. Better late than never, I guess. Nope, everything is as I left it. Okay then. There was some chance that that's broken, even now. So what is the claw? 1 HP? Did I miss something else? Huh. Anyway. Definitely taking beam, I love this thing. And the cluster bomb is probably just straight up better. Charge it up. When it lights up and you hear the cue, release for a burst of damage. This is a new boss, by the way. And yes, reading the name, I am thinking of Deltarune. Happened the first time as well. I really love the idea of a swordfish that changes its sword into different weapons. I really got a kick out of this boss the first time. Even has a flail. I'm just stalling to show this off. The flail very much reminds me of a boss in Star of Providence, Iron Magus. It doesn't function exactly the same way, but I think that's a fair comparison to make. Seems fine. Yeah, while you're holding the beam, you can just sort of swing it across the nodes and disable them all. If you're struggling with relays, this weapon is sort of its Achilles heel, I would say. Like I said earlier, maybe I didn't specifically say it, but beam will instantly destroy very weak enemies without you having to let go of it. What do I want here? Just give me an upgrade. I think I want to keep beam. Battery's fine. Axolotl doesn't particularly do anything. It's just gonna heal me, it's not gonna give me any POW. I just don't think it matters, so I'll take it. Since I haven't picked it up yet. Beam, it charges up until a certain maximum damage, or until it's amassed enough damage to kill the target. I'm pretty sure that against Lancer it consistently took a certain amount of time to charge. But on the last hit it was shorter. And that checks out, right? You can let go of it before it's at full charge and it'll still deal some damage, but no real point. Okay, I'll switch. Well, I don't have to, actually. But I could get a shield or something. Yeah. Well, they were both the same thing. Laser is usable in relays. It can one-shot the eels, which is good. You can still rapid fire it to disable nodes if you need to. Maybe it's a bit harder than something more rapid fire like this. I like that the delayed projectiles from these virus enemies require you to keep that in the back of your mind while you're reading and doing other things. Just another little element that makes relays chaotic. Nice. Yeah, you can see the max POW building up now that I'm doing good combos. Yeah, burst gets range from Deadeye. This is a decent compromise, by the way, between having a ridiculously massive tooltip that shows all the effects on different weapons and not having enough information. That's something that came up when I was talking to Neo. Because he was wondering, it would take so long to learn all of it. Although I think, like, maybe he could put it in here. There was a pretty detailed breakdown in the other categories of the data log when it comes to all of this stuff. But I don't think it's a big deal either way. Yeah, this is the attack I was talking about before. If you were anywhere near the head when that happened, it was... I think it was even faster and more sudden before. I think I would still take hits to it before a loopbreaker. Or actually, I don't remember at what point during testing amp ray was changed. No need to think, smartass. This is the end. And yeah, one more quest. But first, an unlock. I think I'll go with Ionize. I will keep Flak Shot away. I saw a little bit of talk about Flak Shot, and yeah, I do think its random spread is the most... the worst part of it. It's fairly consistent, especially against large targets, but I think it can kill your chain sometimes if you're aiming at smaller things and you're not really close to them. That was my experience. So yeah. And that is all. Yeah, all things considered, that didn't take longer than the previous parts. It's just, it could have been shorter if I wasn't so bad at the race. So next time, I'll get started on the last quest of, well, of Act 1, actually. Thank you for watching.